Howdy, everyone. Howdy, everyone. This is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, to the very south of Russia. Welcome, my friends. Thank you for joining. This is another daily update. I think it's going to be an interesting one and an important one because we are in for a situation here in Russia, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what kind of situation that is. Mods, if you could give me 5x5, I would really appreciate it. Waiting for 5x5. I think I'm seeing myself and I can hear myself. That's good. 5x5 from me and from the mods. Thank you. My friends, I'm going to talk about unemployment today. Unemployment in Russia. Well, it's really about the economy. It's not just about the unemployment. Unemployment is one sign of what happens in Russia. Unemployment is not just a sign, an indicator. In economics, they're saying it's an indicator. And this is one of the early indicators of something going right or going wrong in the economy. The most important indicator for people, because it really concerns people, okay? Because if people are unemployed, they cannot provide, their living standard drops tremendously. So what is happening in Russia? In the last few years, unemployment here has been low. I don't even remember the times with high unemployment in this country. Perhaps in the 90s was difficult to find a job, but lately, plenty of jobs available. Jobs usually not paying well, that's true, but if you want to find a job, you will find it. Low paying, somehow, you'll be getting some money enough to get by, so to speak. Usually, and historically, the labor markets in Moscow and St. Petersburg pay more. Companies pay higher wages there than in the rest of Russia. And in larger cities, people make more than in smaller towns and in the villages. So, before February, the situation with unemployment had never been an issue in Russia, at least in the recent decades. But something happened on February 24th, the event, as I call it, and I've been telling you that Russia is up for very hard time, for economic disaster, for economic tsunami. And the earthquake happened, the tsunami wave has been born, and it's been coming towards Russia, coming at full speed. And some signs are already here. One of the early signs that I saw was retail was hit the first. Okay, lots of shops closed, lots of companies have left Russia, and the Russian companies, some of them are struggling. Because if you go to any shopping mall at any large Russian city, then you will see the same picture. First, there will be quite a few businesses closed, such as McDonald's, of course, Starbucks at every food court, and quite a few closed stores, apparel stores, closed. The Western companies have left Russia. But there will be many stores open, the Russian-owned stores. But there's a problem. They have bored shopkeepers because very few customers. You can see it in numerous videos that I've made. I walk through shopping malls, I walk through a business center with tons of shops, and the shopkeepers have nothing to do. Stores are half empty. That cannot last long, okay? Because business owners, they pay people out of their, the pockets if there aren't enough money generated by the stores or businesses, small businesses, not necessarily stores. So how long can a place without sales go? My estimate is from 1 to 3 months. If it was my place, my business, I would wait for 1 month and perhaps I would give it another month to see if there's a trend for improvement. And if there's none, I would close the place, because, I mean, rather do it sooner than later, rather lose a little bit of money than more. And that's a logic that a lot of people have. Pretty much common sense. So now, this is the beginning of summer, and I have been telling all along that this tsunami is going to hit sometimes in the summer. Now, my words were confirmed by head of Russian Central Bank Elvira Nabiulina, who twice officially publicly said that Russia will start seeing economic hardship sometimes in the summer of 2022. First, she was in April addressing Russian Senate. She said that, and then later she said that pretty much same thing a couple days ago at the St. Petersburg Economic Forum. So now, I was thinking that the tsunami would start hitting in August towards September. She said it would happen sooner, like in the middle of summer. Well, now in Russia is the end of first months of summer. 1/3 is gone. Our summer starts on June 1st and ends on on September 1st. It's not like you when you just had your summer starting tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Okay, we're 3 weeks into summer here in Russia, and early birds of labor market apocalypse have started to appear. The I'm not sure if it's an early bird or already a late bird, but officially, Russian Ministry of Labor publicly announced that unemployment in Russia is on the rise. Russian Minister of Labor, and I quote, his name is Anton Kotikov. He came out and said today, if we look at the dynamics of registered unemployment from the 1st of March to the 1st of June, then we'll see that the number of registered unemployed people was in the corridor between 660 to 680,000 people. This is quite low indicator number for Russia. But in June, we are seeing increase of number of unemployed that are registered in the social centers. Now, my friends, to me, this is a huge statement. Usually, if things are well, you don't hear anything from public officials. If things are not so well, usually public officials come out and say, things are well, nothing to worry about. But if things get really serious, then they come out and say something like this. They acknowledge the problem. So he's acknowledging now. He's saying that unemployment's on the rise. It means, in my eyes, in my opinion, it means things are pretty bad already. And these are not early birds, my friends. This is a growing crisis. Now, why is that so? Obviously, we've been talking about it for the past 4 months. Okay, Russia has been hit by sanctions. There are over 10,000 sanctions placed upon Russia right now. It's the most sanctioned country in the world. You thought Iran was, well, Iran is child's play compared to Russia now. 10,000 sanctions of different kinds. There are some serious ones and not so serious, but it's over 10,000 sanctions. The number of sanctions is growing. The G7 countries have just talked about increasing sanction pressure on Russia. Okay, I don't really know how far else you can go to increase the pressure, but they're trying to increase somehow. The huge sanctions have been placed upon Russian banks. We basically have been isolated from the rest of the world financially, on Russian debt, on Russian gold currency reserves, on Russian government officials, on high-tech companies, on politicians. Lots of companies have left Russia, even without sanctions. They just made conscious decisions to leave, just like Siemens, Microsoft, Apple, McDonald's, of course, Coca-Cola, Nestle, and the companies like that. Those are huge. IKEA, and some of the companies have left already, meaning they have laid off their employees. McDonald's, IKEA, and the companies, large companies, Western companies like that, they were nice enough to pay people 3 months before firing them. Basically, what it means, McDonald's closed doors on the 13th of March, but they just stopped paying salaries to the employees now. Okay, they've been paying for the past 3 months. But now, all these people who are on the streets, what are they going to do? Where are they going to go to find work? Now, I know very few people who, when they lose job, they go and register as unemployed. Okay, usually it doesn't happen. What happens is people try to find a job as soon as they can, plain and simple. Because unemployment, I've been asked many times, how does our state help with money when person gets unemployed? Person gets like, I don't know how to say that, a financial aid, something like that, but it's not even $100. It's very, very little money. And it lasts for only a very short period of time. But basically, people try to find a job as soon as they get fired. The problem is right now, there are too many people lost their jobs at once. There are too few jobs. You see, the number of resumes on the market increasing, the number of positions decreasing, okay, have decreased and have a tendency of decreasing. That's a bad situation. Usually when you lose a job, you can find it, more or less quickly and easily. But not today. Not today. My friends, this is not good. We have industry experts commenting on the situation in the Russian markets right now. For example, Natalia Golovanova, she is the head of research center of superjobs.ru. That's one of Russia's largest online job hunt agencies. She's saying basically that there's a growing crisis. A lot of people losing their jobs, and there are many more resumes, and there are fewer job openings. Same information comes from the employees of a company called headhunter.ru. That's number one, Russia's recruiting agency, online recruiting agency. Dmitry Peskov, the press secretary of Vladimir Putin, has voiced his concerns. He said that Russia is, let me quote him. He said that the Russian government is taking actions to keep unemployment under control. Well, I assume that he was kind of giving message to Vladimir Putin, Russia's president, since he's the press secretary. I hope he's not speaking out of his own initiative, okay? Because that's not his place. So I assume that comes from Vladimir Putin, who knows that there's a growing problem, challenge for Russian economy. Let me tell you, unemployed people are not happy people. You can only take so much. When you're employed, you make money, you are fed, you provide for your family, you have something like work on your mind. Once you lose your job, your mood changes a great deal, and you are much, much less forgiving. Okay, you are much less, what's this word? Lenient, right? And I think that the government officials know about that. And that's one of the things that I think one of the things that they fear, high unemployment, rising unemployment, because that is social unrest. To sum up, things are not well. Things are going to be getting worse because obviously there are difficulties coming. They're ready at the door. They're knocking our door, so to speak. Economic difficulties in terms of shrinking budget, in terms of huge, catastrophic decrease of jobs in Russia. Companies closing, they're paying less taxes. That's economic multiplier is at work right now. So things are not well. They're not getting better anytime soon. The government officials, from what they've started saying, are concerned. I'm not sure what they're doing, if anything, but they know of the situation. That's the official side. Unofficial side, what I am seeing, and I have been seeing around me so far, it's not a catastrophe, but it's pretty hard right now. Not a catastrophe yet. My company has not fired anyone, although our business, our market, complete market shrunk. But we've sent some people for 3 days, work days out of 5 for a week, and therefore we decreased salaries. I know lots of companies are doing that in Russia, because to fire people is the least thing you want to do if you excel in the market and if you depend on people and depend on engineers, highly skilled professionals. You assemble teams for years and years, and this is your strongest, most valuable asset, okay? Because you are looked at what kind of people, who is working for your company, what projects have they completed. That's pretty much it, And to fire people, that the team that you've been assembling, very, very, precious team that you've been assembling for years, it's the last thing you want to do, I know lots of companies trying to keep employees, but some companies are simply closing. There's nothing can be done about that. First, people are suffering. The very first ones are unskilled labor, such as shopkeepers at shopping malls, at different large shops. Unskilled labor in terms of people who sell coffee, who serve food, cooks at the small cafes, small restaurants, people at the grills. This kind of place is closing en masse, and people who were employed there, they're just basically thrown onto the streets. Lots of people are trying to get jobs driving taxis, but that's a problem too, because it's really becoming hard to get a job as a taxi driver. And there are fewer taxi cab rides these days because people start saving money and they don't use taxi as much. I would love to get statistics on how many taxi cab rides have been monthly in the past, let's say, a year or so. I'm not sure if statistics like this exists, but it would be really interesting to look at it. From what I see, I take taxis sometimes and I speak to taxi cab drivers. They complain a lot. They're saying that there are fewer customers these days. The the rides have actually they cost less now than a year ago, and the taxi cab drivers, they do their own maintenance and they buy their own gas. So they're saying that the gas has gone up and auto parts have gone up. So they're spending way more money and they're making less money. So that's a good indicator. And it'll be much more difficult and much less lucrative to get a job at the taxi cab. That's like a job of last resort in Russia, so to speak. Vladimir Putin has just he signed a new law into existence that forbids people who have been in jail to become drivers, taxi cab drivers, or public transportation drivers. That's going to offload taxi cab market. I think he did it specifically to offload and make new vacancies available there, but they will be fast filled up. So that's what I've been seeing around me. Not a catastrophe, but Russians start feeling economic pinch. This is my message for today. I would like to turn on the comments now. I would like to converse. I have a couple announcements to make. The first announcement is about the rules of this live chat. There are some rules I'd like you to follow, and they are: common sense is the king. Before posting a comment or a question, please use common sense. No snide, crude remarks and or hostile comments. We want this community pleasant. It has been pleasant, and the mods have been working very hard to keep it this way. So please don't try to spoil it for everyone. No crude usernames, please. English only, no other languages. No trolls. If you're a troll and you try to do your trolling things, don't even think about it. You'll be zapped very, very quickly. This chat is for subscribers only. You have to be a subscriber for a considerable amount of time to start posting comments here. And there is a blacklist of forbidden topics and words. They are anything about Ukraine, criticism of top Russian leadership, number of casualties in Ukraine and in the Russian army, and everything referring to actions of the Russian army in Ukraine. Please refrain from talking about that, asking questions, trying to inform me, things like that. There are different chats for that. There are different videos, not here. And I would like to turn on the chat. And what I want to say the very first is we have a person who turned 77, well, is turning 77 years old today. That's a very loyal subscriber, Lucy Wellburn. I would like to say happy birthday, Lucy, and I wish you many, many happy returns of the day. Thank you for being with us. Great to have you. And 77 years. I mean, my honor to have you here as a subscriber. That's pretty incredible. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to open chat in a new window. It's much, much easier for me this way. Lorna is number one today. Lorna, mommy, Hello, hello. Reese, Airborne Snail, Dirk, Susan, Brianna, Golden Griffin, great to see you. Robert Bates, Frank, Kyle. The usual suspects, the mods, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, mods. Thanks for watching my back today. Reese Gray, thanks for the super chat. Hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. In your opinion, is Russian government taking meaningful steps to alleviate this economic downturn? Is there even much they can do to try and cushion the blow? Reese, you are absolutely right. You kind of answered your your own question. Suggested the answer. Well, first of all, thanks for coming back and thanks for the super chat. Let me tell you. First, I have not seen the details. What kind of steps Russian government is taking to alleviate this economic downturn? This is so much like Russian government. They say things like, "We're watching closely. We're taking actions." But what actions? Tell us, show us, don't keep us in the dark. That's what I hate, to be kept in the dark. And same thing is happening. Oh, we're taking actions. We are controlling the situation. How? How? Just tell us how. Tell us. This is very simple, isn't it? This is step number 1. This is step number 2. This is step number 3. Actually, it would be a great topic to address the nation by Vladimir Putin for the president. You know, he could score lots of political points for that. You know, the man knows what's going on. He understands the problems. He understands the challenges, and there are certain actions that he's taking or that he's ordering the government to take. You know, that would be fantastic. But no, I don't understand why. And another thing is, they cannot do anything at this point. Imagine there's a huge wave, a tsunami coming towards you, okay? And you have a house, you have, a boat, a lifesaver right next to you, you know. Reese, you can grab a lifesaver and put it on. You can sit in a boat and get ready, but it's a tsunami. It's like, 15-story wave. And whether you have a lifesaver on you or not, you're done, So I don't think that they can't do much to alleviate this economic thing, this huge disaster that's coming up. So hope I answered your question. Brianna, thank you so much. Shoplifting is becoming a thing now too, very sad. I made a video about that. Not about the shoplifting, but you all saw my latest video about walking tour of a Russian supermarket where I merely show the prices. My camera does not lie, and there's a section for regular butter locked up in cages, plastic cages, anti-theft devices, they're called in Russia. People have started shoplifting. That's a clear sign that people are in need more than ever these days. Because I don't remember anything like that, butter in the cages. It's crazy. If you want me to notice your comment or question, would you please put it in caps, because otherwise I might skip it. It's difficult for me to see. Donna Olson, hello. Missed the entire message and just came in and at the start of chat. In my mind, that was an interesting message, and I suggest you go back and watch at least the end of the message where I summarize a little bit. There's a 10-pound from Jen Allen. Please get some more tea. It seems to be missing this evening. That is a bad sign. It's not because I'm unemployed, and it's not because I don't have money to get tea. Thank you so much. I'm not eating, not drinking anything. Today and tomorrow, I've decided to take a little break from eating. I'm not dry fasting today, tomorrow, and water fasting for the following 3 days. So it's going to be 5 days. So you will not see me drink tea for 5 days, but day after tomorrow, I will start drinking water instead of tea. because it's difficult. When I speak a lot, my throat gets dry. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's to the tea fund. I buy the best tea now. I get extra income from YouTube, and the tea that I didn't want to spend money on, very, very expensive, it's affordable now. So thank you so much. Happy Lucy Fest. 77. That's wonderful age. I really salute to you, because my grandparents at the age of 77, they didn't understand much. They were like really old people. They didn't know how to use what a computer was, let alone, well, they were computers already, but it was a novelty, okay? They had hard time using simplest gadgets, they had hard time reading things and understanding things and things like that. So 77 is, you are participating in this community. I mean, it's fantastic. Great. Vernon, thank you for the message. This is $5 is a message, pretty strong. I've seen your few comments. I've recently, well, today I've reviewed the comments for the past 10 days from sponsors of the channel. There's a feature that allows me to see all the comments from the sponsors, and I just reviewed all of them. I answered most of them, saw quite a few comments of yours. I disagree with some of them, but you know what? That's totally fine. Because in my chat, on my channel, in my community, people are welcome to have different opinions as long as they're not abusive, as long as not diminishing. If you have a different opinion, you can reason, you can show us your thoughts behind your opinion, then that's fantastic. That's what I was taught in the United States in the 90s, that everyone is entitled to his or her own opinion, and I think that's a fantastic rule. Martin, thank you so much for being sponsor. There's a message from Martin. With all the stuff that is happening I don't think the outside world will bring jobs to Russia for years. Martin, it's obvious. It's absolutely obvious. That's what I've been saying all along. Economic tsunami. You call it different words, whatever you want, but the meaning is still the same. Keep up the good work. I am having a Spaten right now because of you. Cheers. Zidin. Thank you for the message, and thanks for being the sponsor. Jobs are not coming back. The government might come up with an emergency program later on to create state-sponsored jobs, but they're going to be very basic, very low paying, because government jobs in Russia cannot compare to private sector jobs. And the private sector has been shrinking. Okay, so I wouldn't want to work for the government. That's absolutely insane. Hugo Claus, thank you for super chat. I wish I could drink a six-pack with you. Greetings from Estonia. Let's imagine that we're drinking a six-pack. What would you pick? I would go for either German or Czech beer. My favorite ones, pretty much any beer from Bavaria. Kronbacher from Dortmund. Dirk, our fellow subscriber and our fellow member of this community, kind of introduced me to that beer, Kronbacher, and I like it very much. Budvar, very good Czech beer. Pilsner Urquell, and what else? Staropramen, perhaps, something like that. If there's a good Estonian beer, I would love to try that too. Thanks for the super chat. Jeffrey S., hello, hello. Jen Allen, Hi, Konstantin. Thanks for another informative update. Thanks to all the mods for keeping everything good at all. Thank you very much. I haven't seen many messages deleted. Oh, this is the first one. So far, so good. Martin Stam. Well, it's good news, bad news. It's the philosophical question. IKDA, howdy, howdy. Richard Jones, does Russia have any form of food stamps for the poor? As far as I know, no. Even if we have so-called social payments, the government pays a little bit of money to poor families whose income is below a certain point, but there are some payments, social payments to families with 3 or more kids. Like, for example, our family, I don't believe that we get payments much. I don't think the only benefits we have are from the city of Moscow, from the government of Moscow. We use free public transportation for free. Anything metro, buses, except for taxis. Free parking anywhere for one vehicle. And the parking is very expensive in Moscow. It's $6-7 an hour. So that's free. That's very good. And there's discounts at public places such as museums, skating rinks, and so forth. It's not much, but it helps. But other than that, I don't think we're getting any social payments. Babs56, thank you very much. Thank you, appreciate it. It's pretty strong and powerful message. Bob S is here. Donna, I would like a members only tequila shots stream party. Definitely not this Friday because I'll be fasting. The one after. Guys and girls, honestly, I'm feeling pretty burned out. Feeling not the best that I've ever been, right now. I'm not sure whether it's just doing too much because YouTube has increased tremendously. The tasks that I do, I check emails, I do streams daily, things like that, and perhaps that's catching up. But I think it's everything, all combined. I'm feeling terrible about what's going on in Ukraine. It's been affecting me. It affects me every single day. I think about it all the time. I think that has been catching up. It's catching up now. Then my job is not well. Lots of problems. Basically one big problem. The industry has imploded. We're trying to find. We used to have strategic plans for like 2 years, 3 years. Right now, we're just trying to find out what we're gonna do next week. Basically, that's very stressful. YouTube is actually not too bad, but it just takes lots of time. And I need a break. I certainly need a break. I've decided to take a vacation. I have a very important event coming up in Moscow. I have to be in Moscow sometimes in first part of July, and there will be a very important meeting, perhaps life changing for my company. After the meeting, I want to go on vacation somewhere to a seaside. I don't know where, but certainly want to go there. And for a week, perhaps 10 days. Donna, there we will definitely have a drinking stream for the subscribers or for the patrons. Definitely. I promise. I will relax and we'll have a good time. There's another $20 super chat from John Doe. John, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. No message, but $20 is a message strong enough. Much needed. Very appreciated. Deborah Tilson, hello from New England. Gosh, I wish I was in New England right now, in Maine. I totally could take a few days off and just go there and do nothing. Go to Old Orchard Beach, lay on the beach, have a few beers. That'd be really good. Jim Smith, question: do you think the powers are worried too much about unemployment that gives them more people that are desperate for work than they will join the military? No, no, no. It's nothing to do with the military, Jim. They worry that people who lose their jobs and lose their income, they will not feel well, and they will start asking questions, and they will start raising their heads. There will be a social unrest. That's what they're afraid of. One thing and only. Because if that unrest is like a fire, there's one little spark here and there, but sparks are dangerous because sparks is that what creates fire. And if fire starts, it's just like a burning fire. It's really difficult to start the fire, but once it starts, that's it. It's wild. God forbid it starts spreading. Okay? You know the drill. Same thing with the social situation here. They don't want any sparks. Okay? They want to be absolutely sure there will be no social unrest. Military, I don't think it's a question for them. If needed, they will declare draft and they will take all males to the military. I mean, it's in their power, in their powers. James Rhodes, I think firing taxi drivers with criminal backgrounds will stimulate more crime. Who cares? Well, I care, but the government doesn't care, More crime, less crime. Crime doesn't really affect people in the way that they go out on the streets. Richard Young, China and India seem to be filling the void in trade that the EU has left. No, they have not billing. They have not. They have not been filling the void. You are mistaken. The trade with China has decreased in the last 3 months. In India, I wouldn't be trading with India much. Those guys are dangerous. They're not the best partners, We'll be selling them stuff with loss, not with profit. Amir, thank you so much for $10 for your vacation fund. You deserve it. Decompress, have a beer or six, If I go to Turkey, we might, then I have this tradition that I usually take a bottle of scotch, Johnny Walker, Blue Label, and I drink it. It's a tradition because I did it with my dad when he was alive. We took a few vacations together. I brought my parents with me, with our family, or with just myself before I was married. And before we would leave, I would buy a bottle of Blue Label. I don't know why Blue Label. It was just the first time I decided to buy something for myself and dad, and I picked up a Blue Label. I had never had it before. Turned out to be a decent whiskey, Not the best, but not far from the worst, Very, very good one, actually. And we just had it, me and dad, over a week of vacation, and it was a tradition. Every time I would fly somewhere, I would get a Blue Label. And if it's Turkey, every time I go to Turkey, I have a 6-pack of local domestic beer called FS Pilsner. Also a tradition, and that's what I do. I drink it. Gosh, I miss my dad. Second time I'm gonna be drinking without him. Jim Smith, thank you so much for 20 pounds. Volker song. Thank you. Greetings from Klaipeda. Hey, I've been to Klaipeda. I don't know. I've said it in previous streams, but back in 1988, I went to Klaipeda. I had still have relatives, very distant relatives, living there. On my dad's side, relatives of my grandfather, they were sent to Lithuania, I think first to Siberia, then to Lithuania as the enemies of the state, враги народа, and they ended up living in Klaipeda all their lives since 50s, I think. So I visited them in 1988. One thing I remembered was the aquarium, like museum, where with all the fishes and things like that. I had not seen anything like that before. I hadn't even known that it could exist. A thing like this could exist. So Klaipeda is in my heart. Thank you so much. It's a fantastic city. Catherine Hughes, thank you for super chat. Love listening to your chats. All I can say is keep up your spirits. We will be united world in the future. Absolutely. Catherine, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the nice words, and they're uplifting. I also think that we will be one and united in the future. It's just we're going through hard times, but life is like that. It has hard times, then it has good times, ups, downs. You just cannot be happy or unhappy all the times. Thank you very much. John Doe, $20 again. Thank you. I am American and will be Rebelito Russia in a few weeks for 3 weeks to see my wife's family. What's Rebelto? Rebelito. I was there last year and welcomed with love and love the people of Russia. Has the mood changed towards Americans? John, I think you will find out very soon. Not really. Not really. The mood has not changed towards the Americans. Russian government is trying really hard. On every corner you can hear that Russia is fighting not with Ukraine, but proxy war with America, with the West. But regular people, they still love Americans. They still love America. They still okay with it. So I think you're gonna have a good time. If I'm in Moscow, let me know. I'll be in 3 weeks in Moscow because I have to travel there. Let me know. I'll be by myself for a few days because I'm kind of going on a business trip for work. So if you're in Moscow and you have a free afternoon, let's have a beer or something. Julia, thank you for the super chat. I've been told money is form of love. Grateful for your perspective, energy, streams, and prayers. They mean a lot. Thank you so much, Julia. I have been told that money is a form of love. To me, money super chats are important because they show that people like what I say and what I do so much that they send some of their money. And money, today, not just in Russia, but anywhere, money is hard earned. I don't really think there are people here who don't do much for money. We all work hard to earn them. And if we part and send some money to somebody else, that means that we really value what that person does. We really appreciate the work. And every time I get a super chat, that's the first feeling, is that my work is valued and appreciated. That's why I like them so much. Money helps, of course, but that's number two. The number one is the message itself. So thank you very much. You nailed right there, right on the point. Block me. Welcome to Inside Russia. Another sponsor. Yeah. I've had quite a few sponsors left this month. I'm not sure why. Perhaps people getting tired of hearing about Russia all the time. Well, I'm thankful for being sponsors for some time, the ones who left. Omelas 2011. Constantine, please don't drink too much tea. It's not healthy. Just a friendly advice. This is the third or fourth time someone writes me that drinking too much tea is not healthy. Would you please tell me why? Because I don't. All I've read is that drinking tea has a good health effect, long-term health effect on you. So it'd be really interesting to know why. If any one of you knows why drinking too much tea is not good, could you please email me? Because I drink lots of tea. Like some other men drink beer, you know what I mean. I drink tea. Uh, should I switch to beer? Who do Texas? Is Russia's economy different outside of St. Petersburg and Moscow? Yes, it is. Moscow is not even considered Russia by many, many people. Salary is so much higher in Moscow. Rent is so much higher. Real estate is so much more expensive. St. Petersburg is like Moscow, but not as expensive, not as high wages, but still higher than all of Russia. And outside of Russia is what we call Russia. I am in Russia right now. When I'm in Moscow, I say, hey, I'm in Moscow, the capital of Russia. Rob Caswell, I was 80 on the 20th, which is yesterday, right? Wow, Bob, happy birthday, and this is amazing. I am really honored that older, wiser folks come and see and listen to what I have to say. I mean, I should be listening to you. Instead, you come and listen to me. That's very touching. Thank you so much. Bob, happy belated birthday. Uh, have many, many happy returns of this day. Thank you very much for being a member of our community. By the way, if you want me to, if your birthday is on the date of the stream, please let me know at least one day in advance so I can write it down. And if you want to put me in the prayer list, then also please email me because I was going through the messages that are like a week old from the sponsors and I found two requests for prayers and I will definitely put people on the prayer list, but I could have overlooked them because these days I get like so many messages. I think right now I'm up to 70,000 messages alone. So, please email me if you want to notify me of something important. Bob S., I'm watching the time. Thank you. I have not seen your saying, but I'm pretty sure you will soon. Philip Green, tea is good, but it does contain caffeine, so maybe it's too much can be bad. I think you get used to large quantities of caffeine, and caffeine in tea it works much softer than caffeine in coffee. If I drink coffee right now, I would not be sleeping all night. If I drink tea, no problem. Peter Pan, greetings from Vienna. Uh, I thought you're gonna say greetings from Netherlands. SF Joe, King Kong. I like that. You sound like you're coming down with a cold. No, I'm absolutely fine. Uh, Feeling good. No cold. Perhaps you have this super technologies in San Francisco, high tech stuff that can you x-ray people at a distance in Russia and you x-raying me right now saying, oh, you have a cold coming in a couple days. But I'm certainly not feeling anything. Jim Smith, your messages are well received and we thank you. Thank you so much, Jim. Tea is very good. Caffeine. Tea is good. Wash out some vitamins. I have to look into that. Tea is like garlic, never too much. Bruce, thank you. That's what I've always thought. Well, I've always thought. It's really hard for me to speak without, like my mouth is dry. Tea causes kidney stones. Besides tea, I drink lots of water. If I was drinking tea only, then I think that would be a potential risk. But I, outside of tea, I drink lots and lots of water every day. 56. Okay, couple minutes. Beer is life. Heidi Horowitz, thank you so much. My wife is beautiful. Yes. Mitch Young, thank you very much for $20. Very appreciated. Thank you. Brian Crook, 75 England. If you go to Turkey, perhaps all your viewers can go and have a big party. I would love to meet someone from this community in real life. And if I go to Turkey, I can tell you the place. And perhaps we should always, we could, meet someplace. That'd be fantastic. I want to drink coffee in winter. Since I started doing live streams daily, I've stopped drinking coffee completely. I didn't drink it much, just like ups and downs, but wasn't drinking much. Just like going out in the winter when filming outside, I would drink coffee now and then. No, since February 24th, it's tea only. R.W. Fraser, let's go back to 91. Metallica comes to Moscow and draws 1.6 million people. At the time, the largest concert. It was the first of the positive change. I would love to go to 1991, to be honest with you. I would love to go. It would be so. I would love to unplug from all this crap happening and just go and just not be worried or concerned about anything. Just enjoy everything. Love to see people full of hopes and saying, "Oh, we have a great future in front of us. Oh, we're free now." Now we're just walking around completely shocked, still shocked, like someone took a frying pan and smashed onto our head. And we're just like, whoa. We don't understand what's happening. We don't know what's gonna be in the future. That's pretty much how lots of us feeling like. Anyway, it's time to pray. A couple minutes before the end of the stream. Do you remember what was the first American movie you seen? Uh, you know what? I do. Vichy, let's make it another stream. Okay. It'd be good just to go and talk non-political about some things. Anyway, I would like to finish the stream with a prayer as usual. I am asking you to join me, please. The believers and non-believers. There, I don't really divide people into believers and non-believers because to me everyone is a believer. If you have a heart that's beating, you have love in your heart, you love someone, and to me, love, God is love. So if you have love in your heart, you have God, whether you like it or not. And if you don't believe in God, He believes in you. So please join me. And if you don't want to call this a prayer, just call this sending good vibes, good energy, good karma to the ones we pray for. Thank you so much. I have a couple more people on the list to pray for. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us a wonderful day, another wonderful day. Thank you for putting food on our tables, giving us roofs over our heads, giving us warmth of beds and comfort of our homes. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love, family, friends, good people, colleagues. Thank you. I am asking you to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Please help to stop this tragedy that is happening for the Ukrainians and for all who are around Ukraine. Things are not well, and we really, really need help these days to rectify all of that, to make it normal again, to stop the bloodshed, to stop people from dying, to get back happiness back into our lives. Please reach out and touch people who can make decision on whether to continue or stop this bloodshed. Fill their hearts with love, mercy, compassion, soften their hearts, and make them stop, make a decision to stop this bloodshed. And I would like to pray for Vladimir Putin today. Reach out and touch his heart and open his eyes. Fill his heart with mercy, with compassion, soften his heart so he just makes a decision to stop. Please send angel to every single Ukrainian who has been affected by this bloodshed. Please help everyone who's helping Ukrainians to relieve their tragedy, to help their tragedy. Those who open their doors for Ukrainian families, who send money, who send prayers, who send good wishes, who pray for them, who open their wallets. Please help them. Please help us to bring our children in a wise way so when they grow up and become adults, they will make this world a better place and will never fight with one another but love one another. And please keep our children safe. I would like to ask to help everyone who is in this virtual community praying. Thank you for bringing us all together, and please reach out and help everyone in this chat, because we pray for something and we ask you for something. Hear the prayers and answer them, please. I would like to mention a few people. They reached out and asked me to be placed on the list. They are asking you for something. Please hear them, and all of us were praying for them. They are Nine Veka, Michael, Elena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Buzz, and Mary, Jean-Paul, Paula, Janine, Michael, Brian's mom, Michael, Maddie, Narnian Lady, Freddie, Susan S., Sabrina, Susan, Fiona, Chirper, Madeline, Stephen, Ellen, Priscilla, Michelin Beatty, Martin, Donald from Wisconsin, USA, who is asking for himself to mention him in prayers and pray for his country, the United States of America. I, myself, Konstantin, also want to be on the list, and I want to pray for my country, Russia. Ariana. I have two new people. They are Liz Dumbrell and Bruce B. they're asking also to be put on the list and to be prayed for. I also have 3 children I would like to ask to pray for. They are Sebastian, Maverick, and Britzel Andrews. Britzel has leukemia and she really needs your miracle, dear God. Her family really, really is asking you to perform a miracle and to help in this very dire situation. So please help her. We're all waiting for the miracle to be shown to us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please forgive us. And thanks for everything. Amen. My friends, thank you very much. I would like to say that you are absolutely awesome and you rock. I want to invite you tomorrow. Um, Perhaps I want to make a less difficult, less hard, less heavy stream, something more personal, something more lighthearted. Someone asked me what was the first American movie. I have tons of stories from my growing up, from being a teenager, young adult, and perhaps I want to share those stories with you. We'll see. So I hope you come back tomorrow and I'll have another message. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Turn this off right on my phone.